D23 happened over the weekend. We break down all the latest announcements.
Netflix's Charlie vs. the Chocolate Factory lands a wide theatrical release.
We get prehistoric with our review of The End of Oak Street, which released in cinemas this week.
All this and more on today's episode, so stay tuned.
These are what we stay alive for.
Thought we were having a nice day.
Are you Steve Jobs? What?
Don't even think about going out, Coraline Jones!
You can't handle the truth.
We're going to steal demo!
Hello and welcome back to the Nick and Mick on the Mic podcast, the #1 film podcast. I'm your host, Nick Collins, and order has been restored. We welcome back our social media queen, the brain behind our podcast.
Whoa.
The person that continues to laugh at me, not with me.
It's true.
My co-host, Michaela Tabano.
Wow. Thanks so much. What an intro back.
What an intro. It's great to have you back.
Thank you. Apologies for my absence, everyone. I had some food poisoning.
Well, we didn't need to know the details, but all right.
All better now. Thank you to Matt for filling in for me with the wig. Appreciated that.
With the wig, yeah. You did a great job, but I think everyone missed you.
Thanks.
Now, last week we did give Matt a birthday cake for his birthday.
Yes.
And he said he did save you a slice. Now, did you get that slice?
I didn't, Matt. What the hell?
Yeah, come on, Matt. What's going on?
Where is it?
There you go. How have you been?
Better. A lot better now.
A lot better, yeah. True.
Yeah, good. There's been so many cool movie announcements that we're going to discuss today. So it's going to be a very packed episode, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I'm also good. Thanks for asking.
I was just going to get to that. So
yeah,
if you just gave me a second.
All right.
How have you been?
I've had a really good week. I've been trying to watch a movie a night.
Yes,
and
you
I've
did say this.
watched some really good ones.
Which ones?
Well, I saw you watch Zodiac, and so then I went to watch Zodiac because, why not? It was really good. Loved it.
So good. We're going to have to review that, I think.
Yeah, at some point. That would be good. What else did I see? Oh, I went through the first 2 Tom Holland Spider-Man films just to rewatch them.
Nice. Did you log those on Letterboxd? I don't recall seeing those.
Yeah, look, it's a bit hot under the collar.
Yeah,
a bit awkward.
Yeah.
No, I didn't log those ones, but I had seen them before, and
so they still count as a rewatch.
I know.
Get on the app.
Oh, and I watched The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, did you like it?
It was alright.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but
Whatever.
sometimes being right is lonely. Is that what they say?
Being lonely is right. That's what Nick said before. Being lonely is right.
Guys, we had a big chat before we started today's episode because we've had some technical issues. I don't know if you've noticed recently, particularly last week in Matt's mic, there was a bit of buzzing. Some would be mistaken that we had a beehive in the studio, but no, it was the buzzing. But because Michaela is the brains behind the podcast and she's back in the studio this week, she's just fixing everything. Everything goes to shit when you're not here.
Okay, that's a big lie. I'm not the brains. Ignore all of that. That's wrong. Matt, moral of the story is that we hope we've fixed it now. We think we have.
Yeah. And
Hopefully.
You know what? If you want us to get better equipment, we'd love to get better equipment. You just got to keep watching or streaming the podcast to help, help us out.
Yeah.
Just a call to help, Anyway.
Basically.
There we are. But, anyway, let's get into our first topic of the day. Enough gas bagging. Tomfoolery, as they say. For those that listen to the podcast or watch the podcast, obviously you'll know that we are a film-based podcast. We don't really talk about the streaming services. However, this topic concerns the theatres. And so with that down, we'll get into our first topic. Mickey, Netflix has long been known for prioritising streaming. But in the last couple of years, the company appears to be becoming more open to giving some of their biggest films a proper theatrical release. The latest announcement is the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory adaptation. So this topic comes from The Hollywood Reporter. Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory will give global audiences a chance to grab a ticket for the forthcoming animated feature. Netflix announced last Wednesday that the film will have a wide theatrical release globally on November 5th, 2027, before hitting the streaming platform on December 22nd, 2027, just in time for the holidays. This news follows Netflix's other arrangements with exhibitors, including Greta Gerwig's Narnia, The Magician's Nephew, getting released in IMAX and wide global theatres in February 12th, 2027, before hitting Netflix on April 2nd of that same year. While the Brad Pitt-led follow-up Once Upon a Time in Hollywood landed a 2-week exclusive IMAX run this November. Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory centres on Willy Wonka, played by Taika Waititi, aiming to start a new life after his release from prison, just as Charlie, voiced by Kit Connor, and other teens whose families face eviction are set to burglarise Wonka's factory. Michaela, hearing this news, do you think this is a good move for Netflix? And also, were you even aware that they were doing a new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory adaptation?
I've heard of this. I didn't know too much about it. I also didn't know Kit Connor was going to be voicing... Who's he voicing? Charlie?
I think he's voicing Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
I'm not familiar with his work.
I only know him from Warfare.
Right.
But I know he's also in that show Heartstopper, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Movie series on Netflix. So, yeah, I'm going to watch this when it comes out for sure. I think it's cool that Netflix are doing the theatrical release as well because, you know, every now and then I like what Netflix can put out sometimes. So I think it's fun when they take their more bigger films and give them a run in the cinemas. I think that's cool, like they did with Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. I saw that in the cinemas, and that was
did you really?
Good. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I had gone with my friend to actually see Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in the cinema, but the theatre had changed the session time, so it didn't end up playing. And then we were like, oh, like, the new Knives Out is in cinemas. We didn't know it was going to be in cinemas, so we just happened to be there at the time. We were like, well, may as well see it. And I think that was a good film to have at the cinema. I
think Netflix is slowly starting to realise that it is beneficial to release your films in theatres first, and then you get a lot more engagement on the streaming service as opposed to just subscribing to the service to watch those new videos as well.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, like, you know, I'm a big fan of the Roald Dahl sort of books. I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Haters gonna hate, but I do quite enjoy that 2005 Johnny Depp one.
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know, I just like the darker elements because the story itself is very dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like it?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like when I was younger, that one, like, scared me a little bit because, I don't know, it just felt weird after I'd seen the original first one with Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd need to revisit the Johnny Depp one. Maybe I'd have a different take on it now that I'm older. But yeah, okay. I remember as a kid we didn't watch that one.
Good morning, sunshine. The world says hello.
Is that what he says?
At the start, I think. I might have got that a little bit wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Even just that line's giving creepy.
I love it. It's great.
But yeah, I think it's a good move for Netflix to put some of their bigger films at the cinemas because as well, right now I feel like the cinemas is like a very popular place. People are more keen and eager to go to the cinemas to see films. There's like a big surge of it. So I think that continuing on with the tradition of having bigger films in a cinema space is going to be great for Netflix.
Yeah, I also like the idea that it's Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory, which sort of sounds like, you know, and reading the description, it sounds like it's going to be a very different adaptation on the Roald Dahl story. And I think that's a great way of making it fresh, because obviously we've had two really, well, some would say the 2005s are great, but in my opinion I think we've had two really solid films. And I think, you know, we've had also Wonka, which is like the prequel, and they're working on the sequel, which will probably, you know, adapt more of that, you know, well-known story with Charlie. But I think, you know, there comes a point where you can overdo it, and I think, you know, we're seeing with Spider-Man at the moment, you gotta keep it fresh for audiences.
Yeah, I think also, unpopular opinion, I feel like Wonka, I don't think I like it that much.
Oh, get out.
I just feel like over time, like whenever I think back to Wonka, I'm like, meh.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know, something about it.
Guys, I'm hearing this for the first time. I love that movie.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
I love the, yeah.
You're very happy, jolly. I feel like that movie.
If I was to make a movie, that's the type of movie I'd probably make.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just feel like over time, like when I think back to it, I'm just like, I don't know if it was as good as I thought it was at the time. But
yeah.
I think I just wanted a bit more context as to how he makes this chocolate. He just made them. Like,
yeah, it was a bit like abracadabra, here it is.
Yeah, and I was like, well, okay, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Good source ingredients, as they say.
Right.
No.
Right.
The sustainable source ingredients, something like that. Anyway, but looking at this photo, we've got it on the screen at the moment. This is like our first sort of look. It came out like probably maybe over a year ago or a few months ago. But yeah, just looking at it, it looks like it's sort of set in like a modern sort of England or modern day sort of like London, which is good because the other films have all sort of been in like a sort of mystical world, if you will. They're not quite set in our reality. It looks like our world, but it's not. But it feels like this is very sort of grounded.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very colourful. I think it's going to be visually very nice to watch.
It's sort of got that same sort of animation style that you see in like, you know, the Spider-Verse films and stuff like that. Yeah. Interesting to have Taika Waititi voice Willy Wonka too. I feel like it's a good, sort of suits him. I'm interested to see what the design of the character too, but it's sort of like that's a role that sort of suits him, that sort of a whimsical type character who can also then switch up and become like, have like a sort of sinister side to him as well. I think I remember maybe like 7 years now since they sort of announced that Taika Waititi was going to do like a Willy Wonka sort of Netflix movie. And I don't know if this is the same thing or that just got scrapped and then they just used Waititi as Wonka. But yeah, it feels like this has sort of been a project that's been in the works for quite some time. So it'll be exciting to see how it all works out.
Yeah.
All right, well, with that down, guys, we'll get into our second topic of the day. This is pretty much like breaking news.
Yeah, this is new.
This is very, very fresh, hot off the press, as they like to say, in the journalism industry. I don't know.
Sure.
But D23 happened over the weekend, which is the ultimate Disney fan event. They sort of present their upcoming films from Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, that type of stuff. So this article comes from Deadline. D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, brought a lot of surprises and first looks of what the entertainment company is preparing in the following months and years. Taking place over 3 days in Anaheim, California, Disney kicked off the weekend with a showcase that teased what is to come and updates from Avengers Doomsday, the Star Wars franchise, the new X-Men cast, a teaser for the new season of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, as well as first looks at the live-action Tangled adaptation, Coco 2, Oswald, Frozen 3, and the Bluey movie, among many others. Mickey, you saw a lot of this news. I think I was texting you like as soon as the announcement came out.
Sending me all the reels.
About a specific one, which we'll get into in a moment.
Yes.
You see some of this news. What are your thoughts?
Well, I really like the new Avengers Doomsday trailer.
Yes.
That looks...
Oh, God.
It looks like it's going to be so good. It's going to be such a big film. And I was telling you before, I've already started rewatching, or I guess watching for the first time, the original X-Men movies because I want to prep for the new Avengers films and the new X-Men film, which we'll get into in a minute. But
Wait,
yeah,
there is a new X-Men film? No,
crazy breaking news. But yeah, really, I've started the marathon, so I know all the characters and I know what's going on. Had a movie marathon last night with Claudia and her brother Lucas. Claudia's like my best friend.
Shout out Claudia and Lucas.
Shout out Claudia and Lucas. Lucas has all the expertise, so he helped us. And we're now committed to watching all of them. So by the time Doomsday's out, I'm going to be well versed. I'm going to know everything. But it's cool to see the trailer now and know some of the characters because I've gone back and now I have a bit more context to them.
Yeah.
Even for Jean Grey, which we obviously saw Sadie Sink play her in the Spider-Man Brand New Day film. Even just getting to see the first Jean Grey in the X-Men movies, I'm like, oh, I have so much more context now. I understand. You know? Did you see the Doomsday trailer, the new one?
I did. I loved it.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to say it now. I was skeptical because I've read the plot. Mm-hmm. But, you know, seeing it all play out, you know, in a trailer with music and dramatic dialogue, I'm in. I'm in.
He crossed over.
I was gonna be there anyway, but I'm in.
He's a fan.
I loved how it opens up with Sue Storm, describing who Victor was. You know, he was the smartest man in the room.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And then I knew, she says something along the lines like, I knew he was troubled or something, but I didn't realize he was broken.
Yeah.
And then you get this like sort of shot of Doom, and I'm like, ooh. And he's looking up at this like, this painting or something on the wall of like a mother and his child.
Yes.
And I get goosebumps talking about it now because I'm just like, okay. A lot of the issue with Doomsday is there hasn't been that build-up that, you know, they had with the Infinity War saga with Thanos coming, or Thanos, however you want to say it, coming. There hasn't been that build-up for Doomsday. But just some of the dialogue, like even Reed Richards, like, Victor, was this you? Like, I'm like, oh man, this is good. I don't know why they didn't release this trailer as the first trailer.
Yeah, they should have. This one's a lot stronger. So
much stronger. It feels like, you know, there's stakes now. You know, Doom had more of a presence in this trailer. Like, he was pretty much in most of the other trailer, but I felt like he had more of a presence. And we found out a lot more about who Doom is.
Yeah.
Which I loved. But I don't know if you saw, but prior to the Doomsday trailer, because they showed this at D23, Hugh Jackman was on screen, and they did this like little skit with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds was off camera, but they were doing this skit where he's sort of pleading to for a spot in Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, I didn't see
and they're
that.
Like, dude, they've already finished filming, like the movie's nearly out. And he's like, please, like, if you need help, put me in Doomsday. And it's the way it was shot, it sort of goes back to what they did in Comic-Con. Ryan Reynolds came as Deadpool, and he pleaded for a spot. Now, if you don't know, they're both already in it, so I'll just say that.
Got you.
Yeah, but everyone already knows that.
Yeah.
But they're already in it. But it's fun, you know, that they're mucking around. Are they or they're not in it? But we all, you know, world's worst kept secret.
Yeah.
So yeah. And there's another character. I've told Mickey, but I don't want to like put it out there because some people might want to go in cold. So I won't say. But there's a third character that's with them. But that's all very exciting. Still on the Marvel sort of news, I think my most exciting announcement of D23 was the announcement of the X-Men cast.
Yes.
It's releasing May 5th, 2028, which makes it a pretty big year for Marvel with the release of Black Panther 3 and Ghost Rider that year too. So it's got Chris Abbott, who I haven't heard of. No disrespect, but I haven't heard of him. But yeah, he's set to join the mutants as Professor X. We have Indy Never Ready
our favorite
as Rogue. I mean,
Nick has
absolute
an obsession.
cinema.
Nick actually has an obsession with Nikki. Not with Nikki, with Indy.
With Indy. I love her. I love her as a performer. Only a performer, actually.
Not personally.
Yeah, not personally. But yeah, no, she's great. And so I'm so glad that she's, you know, joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You got Maya Boyd as Storm. Samara Weaving will play Emma Frost, which was reported a few weeks ago too.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
And Kit Connor.
Cyclops.
A Cyclops as well. To play Cyclops. And Adam Driver.
Yeah.
As Nathaniel Milbury, or also known as Mr. Sinister, which I think is a great choice for a first X-Men film. Have I seen all the X-Men movies? No. Am I familiar with the comics? No.
But are you gonna rewatch? Are you gonna watch
the
them?
character Mr. Sinister sounds cool.
I don't know.
Like
that character.
Horrifying. Like, and the thing is, I'll get to your question in a minute, but Adam Driver has been in talks to join Marvel for so long. He was
really?
almost Reed Richards, and he turned it down, and they gave it to the great actor Pedro Pascal. What's her email? Anyway, throwback. But yeah, you saw the announcements. I was messaging you. I was like, oh my god, Indies cast.
Yeah, that
what
was
are your
exciting.
thoughts?
I think this is a great lineup. I'm so excited to see this. I think once I finish my marathon of watching all the X-Men, I'm going to be a lot more keen and excited to see what they do with this new film. But yeah, I'm so excited. I love that Samara Weaving is in there, as we already said in the other episode that we had out where we mentioned her. I love her so much, so I'm very keen to see her character. I don't know Emma Frost. I don't know.
No, I'm not
her power.
I'm not familiar with the X-Men really. I just know Wolverine, Cyclops. Yeah, Deadpool.
We're gonna brush up, okay?
We'll brush up.
And then
We'll
know.
do our homework.
Yes.
But yeah, any of your favourites from the cast? Anyone you're really excited to see? Debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I think
Samara Weaving.
Obviously, Samara Weaving, Indy as well.
Indy.
Can't wait to see her. But also Kit Connor.
So
really like Kit Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keen to see him in the roles of Cyclops.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
We discussed it a couple of weeks ago, but it was reported that Indy might be playing Mystique.
Yeah, they did say that.
Or they were in talks for her to play Mystique. But I think Rogue, is probably just a better suit for her than Mystique. Yeah, and she's such a dynamic actress. It's just exciting to see that, she's had this massive break with Obsession, and her, she's getting rewarded with, these other really good franchises, which is so great to see.
Yeah, I'm keen to see her in some other bigger films.
And she's Australian.
Oh yeah, tell the world.
Yeah, I think everyone knows.
I didn't know.
But her mum's side's from Australia, so we're gonna claim her as Australian.
We're gonna claim her,
even though I don't even think she was born here.
Well.
Yeah, but that's what we do. We take Russell Crowe, even though he's from New Zealand.
But also, okay, our third most exciting bit of news from D23, The Incredibles 3. New concept art was shown. This looks so good. We're big fans of the Incredibles series.
I think The Incredibles is probably my favourite Pixar movie.
Actually, probably same.
That first movie is so dark, and you don't really appreciate that until and you grow up, and then you sort of understand. You rewatch the film and you understand, wow, this movie is actually really dark, and it's so grounded. It's very sort of, there's superpowers. You got Frozone with the ice, and you're like, honey, where's my super suit? They got all the great lines.
Yes.
But it's also very grounded, which I love, and it's very family orientated. At the end of the day, it's about this family trying to work around these, special abilities that they've been, given.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you think the second one is as good as the first one? Because I personally think both are like amazing 10 out of 10s, but I've heard that some people think the second one is not anywhere near as good. So what do you think?
I agree with everyone else.
Really?
I think The Undertaker, at the end of that movie, I discussed it with my dad. We love that end scene. You got The Undertaker. We used to call him the Mole Man, even though that's not his name. But when I was little, I called him the Mole Man.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to see that payoff. So to finally get that second film 14 years later, it was great to see that payoff. And I was like, wow. But the rest of the movie, I just felt a little bit underwhelmed with.
Really? I don't know. I just think the second one is so much fun because they're all using their powers more. Like the kids use their powers more. I just feel like it's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm with a lot of other people, grow the kids up with the second one.
Right.
Obviously it's like a part 2 to the first one. So it's still set in the same time period and stuff. And even this third one, they've announced that they're going to keep the kids the same age.
Oh, okay, really? I didn't see that.
okay, well, yeah, just make as long as you make it good. But I feel like there'd be so much there'd be an interesting story to tell, like, you know, with like Jack getting older, you know, going through adolescence and stuff.
Yeah, right.
There's so much more interesting things that I think audiences would be able to connect to. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with this one.
Yeah, very, very keen.
What they did say at D23 was that Violet and Dash will probably be like they will be the focus of the film. They're sneaking out at night with Jack.
Oh, that's fun.
And they're you know, doing superhero sort of, you know, saving the day and stuff like that without their parents knowing, which I think is an interesting way of going about it. And also that Bob, or Mr. Incredible, if you will, he's going to be struggling in this film.
Okay.
I think they said something like grappling with his own relevance in the world of supers.
Right. We kind of got a glimpse into that in the second one when Mr. Incredible's got the opportunities and he's at home and he's not happy about it. He's like jealous. He's like, oh God, I want to go around and do the superhero stuff. So I think that'll be, I don't know if they might be overdoing it if they do it again in the third one, potentially. Right. But I could see how that would be a natural progression of him still struggling with that. And
I think that's a great way, like, to have, it's not obviously he's going to be struggling a little bit mentally and stuff, which I think is a great way to highlight to audiences that, yeah, these guys are, you know, no pun intended, incredible superheroes, but they're also human. Yeah. And I think that's a great way of, telling this third story. Yeah. But that first movie, I'm thinking about it now. I want to go back and watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Even the music in it.
So good.
Yeah.
Edna. Crowd favourite Edna.
Don't get me started on my Edna mode voice.
I can't.
But with that down, guys, we're going to get into our movie of the week. We just came back from watching it.
Yes, The End of Oak Street.
The End of Oak Street, yeah. And it's safe to say that Anne Hathaway is having an absolute powerhouse of a year in 2026. Yep. At the age of 43, she is balancing a major personal milestone with expecting her third child, with one of the busiest, most high-profile film lineups of her entire career. Yes. You know, she's seemingly everywhere right now, starring in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, Devil Wears Prada 2, the psychological thriller Verity, which I know you're very excited about.
Yes.
And A24's Mother Mary. But among all of these massive projects, one of her most intriguing upcoming projects that we saw with, you know, the trailer releasing earlier in the year was The End of Oak Street.
Yep.
Which, released this week.
Yes. So after a mysterious cosmic event uproots Oak Street from suburbia and transports their neighborhood to a location with prehistoric creatures, the Platt family soon discovers that their survival depends on sticking together as they navigate their now unrecognizable surroundings. What did you think of this film?
Wow, well, we just saw it this morning.
Yeah, so it's fresh.
It's fresh in our mind. We went and grabbed a bit of lunch afterwards and we were like, let's not talk about it. Let's keep it all for the podcast.
We don't say anything. If we've seen the movie together, we literally don't speak because we just hold it for this podcast.
I'm like, yeah, it's a nice day, you know,
literally.
I was surprised by this film. Mm-hmm. I was moved by this film.
Yep.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. What about yourself?
I also really liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. You gave it the same. Yeah. Good cast as well. Anne Hathaway, as we said, plays Denise Platt, the mum. Then we got Ewan McGregor. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Okay, great. As Greg Platt. Maisie Stella as Audrey. Christian Convery as Brian. I think that's right. And it's I thought it was a really good, like, family film.
Yes.
Because obviously the family is at the heart of this film.
Yeah.
And I just think that, obviously this is spoiler-free section, by the way. I think that the way they came across as just, you know, a normal neighborhood family, and obviously they've got their own family struggles. The parents are arguing, they're not really getting along, and the kids are overhearing things. Like, that it just painted it out to be a very normal family that you would see, like, in your neighborhood, you know? And I think that what helped as well is that the opening scenes showing like the neighborhood vibe, and they're having a barbecue in the front yard, and everyone's like
very community focused too. Like the whole community
Yeah.
was like having this barbecue.
I know everyone's like saying, hey, like they're going over to each other's houses. I loved that setup.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
really good.
That was great to set up the core of the film.
Yeah, and I think it was a great way of like juxtaposing that with the dramatic tense scenes as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a dinosaur movie,
Yes.
which is crazy. And you know, I read a lot of reviews coming into this film. A lot of people saying this is the best dinosaur film since Jurassic Park, the first one. Obviously, you haven't seen the Jurassic Park movie.
Need to out me like that.
I'm sorry to out you like that, but
Jesus.
I will agree with them.
Yeah.
I loved that this was a movie. It wasn't just, you know, a spectacle sort of film where you're watching dinosaurs eat people. You were there was actually a narrative
Yes.
that drove the characters, and I think that's what the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies have struggled to do since the first film is how do we find a way to create a story around these characters. It's always been about you know, science experiments and, you know, dinosaurs coming to attack people and whatnot, which is great. Like, people want to go to the movies to watch dinosaurs, you know, wreak havoc. But to sustain the audience for a whole entire film, you need to have, you know, heart, great dialogue, great chemistry between the cast.
Yes.
And this film encapsulated all of that so beautifully.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
couldn't have been more happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I liked it more than I thought I was going to as well. I think I was just like not sure what it was going to be like going into it.
And I don't know if I was going to mention this like later on in the podcast, but I think I'll mention it now. Anne Hathaway is one of my favorite actresses of all time. You know
Yes,
this.
I know this.
The people know this. She's just one of Hollywood's gems. Having her in this film just enhanced it even more.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time as well when actors end up booking a lot of roles at the same time, some people can then start hating and they're like, oh, she's in everything, like, don't want to see any of this person's films anymore. But when you're that good of an actress that you're doing so well in every one of them, I think that just like separates you from everybody else, you know?
Yeah, and I think, that's a great point. Like, a lot of these actors, like, they do like these massive feature films, and then they'll book like some not so big feature films, just, you know, to keep the pay rolling in, you know, whatever pays the bills. But with this film, it sort of felt like that was one of those movies that Anne Hathaway was doing. But guys, she was acting this whole movie. Like, she was just great. And I loved the chemistry between, I just loved the whole family dynamic.
Yeah.
She was the glue. She's
Yeah.
what kept the family together.
So good.
Even through this, you know, obviously very dramatic, very scary, you know, moment that they're going through. She was always, you know, very not mature, but very calm, collected most of the time.
Yeah, she knew she had to like protect the kids a lot of the time as well.
And
from
she
what they
always
saw.
showed that she was, you know, the strong mother. And then there are scenes that you see she does break down. And, you can tell that it is getting to her. But the fact that, you know, like, she was putting her children and her family first. She just did such a great job in this role.
What did you think of the dinosaurs?
Oh, loved them.
They were great.
I think the effects were a little bit off.
Really?
If I'm
I
being
didn't notice
really
anything.
nitpicky, I think the dinosaurs, the CGI was just a little unrealistic in certain.
Okay.
It's hard because you're trying to create a CGI model using broad, like, daylight lighting as well. It's very hard to sort of be able to make that look realistic. Overall, I really liked them. What about yourself?
I like that there were so many different ones in there.
Yeah.
Like, there's some that are flying, there are some that go through water. Like, It was really like, also there were a few jump scares, just prefacing that, because I don't know if you saw, I jumped out of my seat
you were a little bit
twice.
jumpy.
I hate a jump scare so much. I was just not ready for them, but yeah.
There's been a lot of evidence that suggests that dinosaurs did have feathers.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot more evidence in recent years from, archaeologists and whatnot, if you will. They, suggested that there were feathers on dinosaurs, and I liked that they incorporated that in the film.
When have you been doing dinosaur research? What's going on?
Just one of my side hustles in prehistoric. I don't know.
You said that like you just happened to search it up the other day. A new hobby for Nick, guys.
I dabbled in fossils.
Did you now?
Yeah. At the museum.
Crazy. Wow.
Have you been to the museum?
Yeah, like ages ago when I was a kid.
I went last year.
That adds up, actually.
Yeah, it's great. We should go. We'll take Michaela on a tour of the museum, see some dinosaur bones.
I haven't been in a while. Maybe we should do that. Another thing I just wanted to say that I loved about this film was the 80s time period. I just think they nailed the aesthetic, especially at the start, setting up like with the music and the costuming, like everything it just felt very like familiar. Do you know what I mean? Like the neighborhood just felt very realistic. You felt instantly close to the characters in the main family. And I think that they just really set it up great, so that way later in the film, when the bigger shocks happen, you feel very emotionally connected, even though majority of the film is, with the dinosaurs. The first few scenes setting up that closeness to the characters, I think they did it so well that later on you just felt everything a lot more deeper, even though majority of the film you're already in the action.
Yeah, and you spend a lot of time, they spend a lot of time building upon each character. Yeah. Which is really cool.
Yeah, they all had their little things going on.
Yeah. And then, I liked that the director, whoever the director was, or the filmmakers behind this film, I know J.J. Abrams was a producer.
Yeah.
But the filmmakers really tried to hide stuff from the audience and only reveal it when it was necessary. Mm-hmm. Ewan McGregor's character, he's working as a pizza delivery driver, part-time. And this isn't really spoilery, but he takes off the sign, he takes off the pizza sign off the top of the car, and his son's like, "Why don't you want Mum to see it?" And he's like, I don't know what he says.
He said because she's embarrassed
or something. Yeah. Which you sort of understand, because you're like, oh yeah, they're sort of on the outside look to be like the perfect family.
Yes.
And then it's later revealed why he took it off. And I love how they were able to go back to narrative plot points that they built upon at the start of the film.
Yeah.
And then to return to that. It just gave it a lot more soul, if you will. You know what I mean?
It also made the family dynamic a bit more complex as it goes on. And like you said, starts off as appears to be fine on the outside. And I think there's even a conversation that the dad has with one of the neighbors, and he's like, "Oh, you're so lucky. You have such a good family." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." So it's from the outside, everything looks normal, but they've all got their own issues, which is in normal everyday life. Everyone's got stuff going on behind the scenes. So I think they set that up really well for the reveals later on.
Yeah, and guys, we won't get the official numbers for how this film's done on opening weekend until probably later today, but I think it's sort of no secret this movie probably will struggle with the Odyssey still in cinemas, with Spider-Man Brand New Day still in cinemas. But guys, if you want to see just a really good movie that's, got really beautiful family aspects to it, as well as, a bit of a thrill and a bit of a sort of roller coaster of a journey, this is the film for you.
100%.
And you got to see it. It's a movie to see in cinemas.
Yeah. It's very, very good.
Yeah, the surround sound, the sound design of the dinosaurs was great.
The score as well.
The score was great. The score
really
written
good.
And composed by Michael G. Kino.
Wow.
with that down, we're going to get into a few spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, then please stop the video, get to the end of this video, see the credits or whatnot. But make sure you see this in cinemas, and then come back, rewatch the video, and join in on the conversation about this movie.
Yes. Can I start?
Of course.
First and foremost, the most important part of this film is that the blue heeler Starbuck survives.
Oh, we could have mentioned that. Oh, no, we couldn't. Yeah.
No, we couldn't have.
But we could have mentioned.
I am so glad that Starbuck survived. I feel like it's so common for these films to just sacrifice the dog, and that's the first thing to go. I'm so happy that he survived in the end, and he helped save the kid. That was against the flying dinosaur.
I sort of knew something was going to come. I was like, well...
That was cute.
Yeah.
I liked
He's
that.
been missing for most of the movie. Where's he gone? Yeah, it'll pay off at the end.
That was a great moment. I'm so glad.
It was really good.
But also, I was quite shocked that the dad died. I did not see that coming.
I loved it though.
I thought like it was going to be one of those films where they're just all going to make it because it's going to end with a good tone.
And that's what a lot of those dinosaur movies have done.
Yeah.
They've... The whole main cast has always survived somehow. Yeah. It's like...
I assumed it would be like that.
Where are the real stakes, you know?
That was a really sad moment, I'm not gonna lie. I was like shocked. I was like, oh my god.
I was like, whoa.
That was sad.
It was sad. But I think it was the perfect thing this movie needed. Because you're seeing, you know, Mrs. Jessup next door or, you know... another neighbor, they're all getting eaten and stuff, but this family somehow perfect family, unscathed.
Yeah.
And then when he gets eaten, I'm like, oh yes.
But yeah, I think it was needed for then when they end up returning to the 80s and their neighborhood is all together. Then
that was weird.
Seeing him in the delivery car and them going up to him, that was really cute. I liked
it was really nice.
But also in my head, I was like, would that not be the first thing, like when you jump through that bubble to get back to the normal neighborhood, would that not be their first thing to be like, let's go home and check if Dad is here and alive? Do you know what I mean? I feel like they kind of just like were hesitant. They kind of waited, and then she goes to make her phone calls to all the neighbors to warn them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wouldn't the first thing you do be go to your house and see your... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
That was a little bit... I was like, what?
It was a little bit, yeah.
But it was a cute moment, their little reunion. Well, another thing I noticed, I don't know if this is just how I interpreted it, she wears majority blue costumes throughout the film. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, true.
She was like always in blue, and I think the way I interpreted that was that like she always felt a little bit separated from her family, especially at the beginning. Like, because as well with the book she was writing, she was always describing she kind of wants to get away, like she needs time away from like the kids and her husband, like she just wanted to run away a bit. And I think that was maybe her saying she was just tired of all the responsibilities and trying to keep the family together in a sense.
Right, yeah.
So she was always wearing blue, and then there's a moment where the kids leave the house and they leave the safety of the house because they see the dog outside. So the kids are gone, and then the parents have just been arguing, and then she realizes, oh my god, the kids aren't here. And then the parents both go out to find them. And that's when they're out of the house. And then at that moment, they're both in blue. He puts on like a blue jacket. And that to me, I was like, maybe that to me communicated that they're kind of meeting on a more level playing field.
That's a good
they're
reading of
understanding
it,
each other. This is the film school brain coming in.
Right, true,
All the years of analysing films.
And you know, blue is the colour of sadness.
Wow.
Is it? Sort of is.
I mean, it can
Why are you
be.
feeling blue? Ever heard people say that?
Yeah, I think blue can also be used in a way of like, can communicate a sense of calmness or like peace sometimes. I don't know. But that was just my reading into it. That was something I noticed. I was like, she's always in blue, and it's not till that moment where he then joins her with the blue costuming that I think it's kind of showing how they're both kind of coming to more of an understanding of each other. And then when he does die, she like switches and she's like, oh my god, like we've been arguing. She obviously feels kind of bad about it, and then at the end when they reunite, she's in different colour schemes. She's kind of broken the pattern because she's feeling more connected to the family at that point.
Right, yeah. Was there anything, obviously, like I've discussed, you know, sort of some of my issues with some of the scenes of the dinosaurs. Was there anything that you didn't like about the movie, or did you just feel like it was a perfect sort of film?
I don't think it's perfect. I think obviously the no explanation as to what this little time bubble wormhole thing was like kind of random. But as I said, like at the time that I was watching it, like I wasn't too fazed by it because like it wasn't really about what it was 100%. It's just like this, and I guess they describe it as this like random cosmic event, so it doesn't really warrant that much of an explanation. I think that's like the only part that I was like, that doesn't really add up. But apart from that, I really enjoyed this film.
Yeah. I think there was a scene that I thought it was a bit unnecessary, the dinosaur scene.
Which one?
Oh, you know.
The dinosaur scene, the whole film?
No, the dinosaur scene.
With the giant one?
Where she takes a photo of her husband.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That dinosaur scene.
That dinosaur scene. Yeah,
I thought that was a little bit like,
unnecessary.
Grow up. You know, like, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, overall, gave it 4 out of 5.
Same, 4 out of 5.
Yeah, really good. Make sure you guys see this in the cinema. It's not something, you should probably see on streaming. Yeah. You need that cinematic theatre experience.
For the jump scares.
For the jump scares, for the overall thrill.
Yes.
There you go. Well, that'll do us for this week's episode, guys. Thanks for joining us once again. We'll be back next week. Also, a little housekeeping. We had Matt last week on the show replacing Michaela, who was unwell. Matt mentioned that he has a sort of spec pilot. So if any of you want to watch it, it's airing tonight in Australia on Channel 31 at 8 p.m. I've seen a rough cut of it and it was great.
Nice.
Yeah, had a chuckle here and there. So yeah, he's worked really hard on it, but I thought I'd just shout it out. So tonight, 8 p.m, Channel 31 in Australia. Check it out.
Yeah, and make sure to follow us on Spotify and YouTube for new episodes, as well as Instagram and TikTok for other content.
And if you want to contact us or just give us some feedback about how the podcast is going or want to just talk to us in general, you can go to nickandmickpodcast@gmail.com.
Wow, got it correct this time. Well done.
I know, you got me nervous. You gave me the side eye and I was getting nervous.
Did it. It's fine.
All right, guys, and we will see you next week. What are we discussing next week?
Next week, we're going to be discussing the films we watched at uni. It's a bit of a film school episode.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be good. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
Have a good week, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into the Nick and Mick on the Mic podcast.
Subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok so you never miss out on the latest movie talk.
The podcast is written and produced by the hosts Nick Collins and Michaela Tabano.
Music used in the podcast is Intro by FAS Sound. The podcast may contain content that is not owned by the Nick and Mick on the Mic podcast. All rights go to their respective owners.
We'll be back next Monday and be sure to go to the cinemas.